So much has been going on because Taylor Swift released a new album. I know it is called Life of a Showgirl. It's been massively successful. And everywhere you look online, there are people talking about it, dissecting lyrics, finding secret meanings, and connecting them to every corner of Taylor world. It is a highly divisive album because some of the Swifties love it and think it is her best work. Yet while some of the Swifties hate it and feel she has gone too far into glossy pop, I was lukewarm on it. To be honest, I did listen to the whole thing, and I can say that while it's fun and upbeat, it did not blow me away. I am not a Swiftie by label, but I've been an enjoyer of Taylor Swift music for a long time. I appreciate her craft and how she evolves through each era. So when I say that my lukewarm reaction was just like, oh, I feel like I have heard some of these songs before, it is not shaded, it's just an honest reaction. It feels a little bit familiar, maybe a little bit predictable, but at the same time, it was happy music and nice to hear that Taylor is in love, because that is something fans have wanted for her for years after all the heartbreak songs she has written in the past. And amid all of that, there's a song on it called Cancel, which some people think is about Blake Lively. And honestly, I do not know whether that is true or not. Some of the lyrics sound like they could reference that friendship, and some fans have made whole TikTok theories about it, but this was recorded before she really fell out with Taylor. It was recorded in the spring and summer of 2024, long before the public even knew about any tension between them. The last time that Blake and Taylor were seen together was in October 2024, when she and Blake went out to dinner with their husbands. Well, Taylor's future husband, Travis, her fiance, that was before they were engaged, and they went out for dinner, and that is the last time they were photographed together. Since then, there has been this kind of weird distancing since the whole lawsuit and the drag-in text messages came out, and Taylor got dragged into the lawsuit in a way she probably never wanted to be. So there's a lot of speculation by fans that Taylor and Blake have somehow made up, and you know, I will believe it when I see it, because this fan base loves a good reunion theory. Further fueling that speculation is this podcast that was created by Travis Kelce and his brother on New Heights, going over to film the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which actually was uploaded in October 2024, around the same time they saw Blake and Ryan for the last time. So at that time, Blake and Taylor were definitely friends, and they definitely still love each other, and the Kelce brothers seem to adore her as well. Basically, the New Heights podcast decided that they were going to allow all of their bonus content that they had previously withheld and only allowed paid subscribers to hear. They decided to post it publicly, and now it is all free for everyone. They are uploading the bonus content to their YouTube channel. So it appears as though this is a brand new episode. But if you go to the podcast website or to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you will notice that it was actually made on October 16, 2024. And in it, they say they love Blake Lively and talk about her in a positive way, which of course sent the fandom into overdrive, thinking that everything was fine again. So now TMZ is running with a headline that Travis and Jason love Blake, and this is proof that their friendship is back on with Blake. Also driving speculation is that Taylor wore a bracelet that Blake wore at the premiere of It Ends With Us, and fans have been doing side-by-side comparisons of the photos. Again, everything in this album that she just made was completed in spring and summer of 2024, so she very well could have been wearing Blake bracelet at the time, or she could have her own. Either way, she was still friends with Blake when she wrote the music and did the artwork for it. The kind of content she is creating here is not something that is made overnight. She literally said that this was produced and finished more than a year ago, and that was when she was still friends with Blake and likely still trusted her. So are Blake and Taylor friends now? I really do not know until I see them together. I do not know what side I Taylor if, after all of this, after Blake making up all of these lies about her and dragging her into this lawsuit and using her name for clout, I think it would be hard to come back from that and pretend it never happened. Now the Daily Mail, who is notorious for being a Leslie Sloan mouthpiece, is claiming that they've had some conversations and forgiveness was provided, but this was already shared months ago. And while they are working on building their trust, that is a narrative we have heard for months. It still does not sound like they are going to be besties again anytime soon again, until I actually see them together smiling at a dinner or attending events side by side. I do not believe it, because both of them are too image conscious to fake it just for show, but it keeps everyone interested. And that is what the media thrives on. The most telling thing to me is that despite everything, Taylor still does not want to take a side in this feud. And that is very unlike her past behavior, because she usually picks a side when she feels strongly about something. I just think if you are someone ride or die and you like your friends canceled and you support people and make your own decisions based on your experience with them, not what others say you would support a friend in a situation like this. Why would she not? If it was true, why would she not? She supported Kesha. She herself was a victim of industry abuse, and if she truly believed Blake, she would support her publicly, but she does not, and that tells me everything I need to know. And if she did re-engage with Blake, I would definitely side-eye Taylor and realize she just does not have great discernment when it comes to friends, because this would not be the first time she trusted someone who later betrayed her in the middle of all of that. While all this propaganda is floating on the internet, the judge has ruled a couple things that might be interesting to you. First of all, he decided to keep his calendar the way it was. He did not want to make too many changes because he has a specific docket. His clerks are doing specific things, and he does not want to mess with that. Instead of dismissing the motion for judgment on the pleadings, he told Blake and Justin, listen, I am going to look at both of these, and Blake can respond to the summary judgment and the motion for judgment on the pleadings on the same date, November 19th. He denied her extension for time because she did not have grounds for it, but he said in order to keep things streamlined, she can respond to both at the same time, and then he will rule on them concurrently, meaning he will look at them together. He has two ways to get rid of Blake's case. He also hinted that some of the claims might get dismissed because he said he wants to rule on the summary judgment and give them time to prepare for what is left. If he was not going to dismiss anything, he would not say that. So everyone knows some claims are going to get tossed. Civil cases in federal court have lower precedent than criminal cases, and they are less flexible with scheduling because criminal cases take priority because of speedy trial rights. So a lot of people think he is sided with Blake, but I really did not see it that way. In fact, I saw it as being harder for Blake because she will have to respond to two major motions at the same time, which could contradict each other. The judge now has two ways to get rid of her claims, and that is not good news for her side. Another blow for Blake. She has tried to hide evidence in this case. There is a new decision in federal court that documents sealed are no longer on the public docket. They are held at the court, but if they get unsealed later, they could become public. Two big pieces Blake was fighting to keep secret are now in the spotlight. Blake declarant, who accused Justin Baldoni of verbal abuse and making them uncomfortable, that is going to become public. The declarant identity and audio recording related to that accusation will also be unsealed. The judge said the declarant privacy interest does not outweigh the public right to access, especially because the declaration was voluntarily filed. Preventing disclosure of the full recording would limit fairness, and since Blake selectively quoted that the full audio must be released, he also said that the recording itself will make clear who the declarant is. So is all going out. This prevents Blake from cherry picking and misquoting parts of conversations, which he has been accused of doing before. He is also unsealing parts of deposition, except for medical details, which will remain sealed. And then remember how Blake wanted to keep her CRD complaint sealed. The judge said she has to explain why, since she already made it public. So she and Wayfair have until October 8th to justify keeping it sealed. In short, Blake attempt to conceal evidence and misquote audio has been denied, and the declarant identity and recording will become public eventually. So we will find out who accused Justin Baldoni, and what was actually said. My suspicion is that in full context, it will not be as bad as Blake made it sound. She and her team have a history of twisting things to look worse than they are to generate sympathy or control the story. So that is where things stand for now. If these documents become public, I will cover them again and break down what is real versus exaggerated. As for Taylor and Blake, I am still on the fence. I really do not think Canceled is about her. Taylor is happy and in love, and for that I am happy for her too. She is in a new chapter of her life, surrounded by music and love, and she does not need to look back if she decides to make up with Blake. I will side. I in question if I still like Taylor Swift, because it would say a lot about how she handles loyalty. But for now, she seems focused on her career, her relationship, and the joy she is finding on her own terms. And Blake attempt to hide evidence denied. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss a video, and stay tuned for all the updates as this story continues to unfold.